Alright, before I get started, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I know a lot of people came from far away, and it's great to have you all here. I wanted to begin this speech with a quote, so I went through some of my favorite authors and historical figures looking for a quote about graduation. Unfortunately, almost every single one I came to was some cliche about going and living your dreams. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Or how's this? If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. William Arthur Ward. Nearly every quote I found was identical. But then I came across a quote attributed to an obscure American author. A graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells thousands of students dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. I like that quote. But I guess when you have 3 people graduating from possibly the smallest school in Oregon, individuality isn't lacking. Actually, we've been fortunate enough to receive possibly the single most unique individual education out there. As Thomas Aquinas once said, "Beware the man of one book." In European literature, we read works ranging from Saint-Exupéry to Solzhenitsyn, and Dickens to Dostoevsky. Last semester, we read pieces of the Confessions of St. Augustine in Latin, and wrote essays on Augustine's ideas on the nature of time. And this semester, we read most of the Confessions in English, and wrote papers on Augustine's response to the heresy of Manichaeism. We also read letters by C.S. Lewis in Latin, and Livy's early history of Rome in English. None of us could have gotten here alone, so tonight we have a lot of people to thank. First, I want to thank you, Tom and Daniel. The last 4 years have been great. I'll never forget the hours of music, studying, and terrible puns that we've all been through together. I know for me it seems like days since we all crowded into that small room on the first day of freshman year and wondered how we were possibly going to get through the next 8 hours. Well, 4 years later, it looks like we did it. Actually, we're the first graduating class to have spent all 4 years here at Ecce. Next, I'd like to thank all the students here. This year would not have been the same without Wilfie McKenzie's comic relief. Wilfie, who was mistaken by the administration for a walking saint, which meant he could get away with whatever he wanted. Now, you may know that in previous years, Ecce students have spent a lot of money at Starbucks. This year, thanks to the school's move, we spent more. You can ask any of the Starbucks employees. There's 3 of them. They know each of us by face, name, and drink. So I'd like to thank all of them for keeping us alive throughout the year, and I'm sure they want to thank us for keeping them in a job. Next, I want to thank all the teachers, staff, and volunteers. I couldn't possibly name all of you. Thanks especially to David Wendell, who was our headmaster during our freshman year. He would be here, but he's preparing to deploy to Iraq with the National Guard. Thank you to Mr. John Gallagher, who was our Dean of Students in the 2nd and 3rd year. We never could have done this without you, obviously. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Owen, who founded the school, for your tireless inspiration and your sacrifice. And thank you to the Ecce Veritas board for all your dedication and support over the last 4 years. I want especially to thank Mr. Matt Newhall, who taught most of our classes here for the last 3 years. When he came in on the first day of school, a parent noticed him and commented something like, "Well, at least one student brought their books." Thank you, Mr. Newhall. Thanks for growing the goatee. And, of course, for teaching us. I'd like to thank Mr. Josh West and Mrs. Glennis Fleckenstein. Both taught here this year, and both were great moral supports for many of the students. And thank you to Mrs. Amici for everything you've done this year. I also want to thank, looking towards the future, the United States Air Force, University of Portland, and the Knights of Columbus for providing for my future education. I needed them to go where I'm going. Especially thank you, Colonel Kono, who's here today. Finally, I want to thank my family. My parents have been a strong support throughout high school. My entire family has given me more than I could possibly have asked for and helped me get here in numerous ways. It is impossible to succeed without the help of other people, and we've had the good fortune to be surrounded by so many people who want us to succeed. And we do owe a lot to many people, but as I noted at the beginning, our future depends most of all on ourselves, on what we are. And we are three individuals from one unique school. I doubt that any of us will fail to find happiness if we stay true to what we've learned. I hope you all enjoy the evening as much as we will. Thank you very much.